too much success with all their insightful views. Do you grow yourself or buy from the top shelf? Are you here to take the reins and gain back your health? Whatever it is, you know the biz. Leave a light, crack a pipe, and let's get on with it. If you want to acquire the knowledge, you don't have to go to college. You can just come hang with Aaron and Dave.
Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast for Two Dope Dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dave.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Not a whole lot. How are you?
Dude, I'm all right.
I think I fucked that up way more than you imagine. You say, how are you? And then I say not a lot, a fucking ton. Or you're like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. I just flip-flop that a lot.
Oh, it's usually like, what's up, dude? Or, what's going on? Or
Yeah. Hey, I'm good and not a lot going on. How are you?
Dude, I'm awesome. I got this weird, like, my voice sounds weird, but yeah, whatever. It's springtime. It's probably some pollen or something.
Oh, spring is in the air.
It is springtime. And, like, all the trees are blooming, and it's really nice outside. Except for the rain. I don't want it to rain during the day. Rain at night or something. Let me disc golf during the day.
Bruh. Seriously. And I've been disc golfing okay again.
You're a standstill.
Standstill guy.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. I'm all right with it. No, things have been good. It's been, I would like to get one of them job thingies again.
Yeah. You getting antsy?
Antsy and broke at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Ish.
Yeah. I bought the car thing and then.
Well, yeah, you bought the new car.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, but no, that's so yeah, just ready to get back at it, and especially now that it's after 420 and I can get back in. Just let me go back now. I'm all right.
You're like, no problem.
Avoided review season. Avoided the reviews and avoided 420. Now we're ready to get back in.
Yeah, you might not want to say that on record in case they go back and look at this episode. They're like,
Bro, it's okay.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I can explain myself. It's all you need to know. All
Do you have a certificate for that?
Yeah, I got screenshots and emails that we'll be fine. You know,
it'll be okay.
If somebody needs me to back up my words there, I think we're gonna be all right.
Well, I mean, it sounds like immediately you're taking responsibility for your actions. And I appreciate that you've done that immediately and you've explained yourself immediately and said, hey, I'm taking responsibility for this and this is what I'm going to do about it. I think that's awesome. Good job, Dave.
Chest to the sky, brother. Don't you know? Golly. Yeah. Tired of carrying my head down,
Yeah. No. Good on you for addressing it right away. Taking responsibility. Yeah.
That's it.
Somebody has to.
Hey, we're a bunch of adults here, okay? Some of us don't know what the fuck that means. It's the first time we've ever had to try it. So, you know what I mean?
Hey, it takes all kinds, right? How was your 420 too, by the way?
It was awesome.
Yep.
I got like the triple trifecta, man. It was Easter, so I got to spend time with my family. It was 420. My uncle is like, it's his birthday and he's a cannabis guy. And like, so it's like, he gets the trifecta for sure, but
that's
then
awesome.
Being able to be around that. And so disc golf, family, and cannabis for me, that's what it was,
Disc golf was fun yesterday. It turned into a windy round. I 3-putted 9.
Oh.
I laid up. I was literally standing in front of the steps and went up with my pig and the wind just took it. And I was like, well, this is 9. This is why I hate elevated baskets.
Well, yeah.
It was fun though.
I've been honing something. Oh man, the putter has been hot.
Yeah.
Hot tamales. It's a lot of fun to disc golf when you're putting well.
It is.
It's
It
a lot
is.
of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last couple of weeks has been good.
Shout out Gav.
Oh,
Solo dolo fourth yesterday.
bro.
Bro, let's go.
Everybody was really competing for second. But then to only fall second to Rick and Paul, like what? Well, I mean
And
Gannon, right?
Gannon.
So that you lost to
Yeah.
the three best disc golfers in the world.
Like,
Okay.
okay, like
Okay.
I would say Paul and Ricky are best disc golfers of this generation easily.
Yes.
Easily. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
The
then
most consistent and
Gannon,
the
now the best in the world and being
period.
so young, like
Yeah.
his ceiling is still there. He's definitely not hit his ceiling yet, I don't think.
No, I just don't know how much better you get than beating the field by 6.
Well, it's golf, so he's gonna get smarter.
Yeah, well, touche.
It's
I mean, just
because he'll
the
get the
most
experience
to
and then, you
outperform
know,
the most elite athletes
yeah.
in the world, and there was 100 of them there besides him, to outperform all of them, and it's
Mhm.
not like he's definitely head and shoulders above the competition,
He's
but,
like
like
top 30 in the world.
what's that?
He's like top 30 in the world. Like
Who's
best
that?
disc golf.
Gavin?
Gav, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
he?
yeah, 1,000%.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
So like
yeah, I think he dipped, into the 20s or maybe even into the 30s last year, but
I
yeah,
mean,
okay. Kid's
I was
killing it.
just saying like
Super.
whatever top 20 in the world, sure.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
whatever. Like I was just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, no, I just yeah. What a neat thing. What a cool time to
Yeah, dude.
watch the sport and, like, to have local friends doing the
Mhm.
thing next to the biggest names in the
I
game, and
mean, he had Ian as a caddy this weekend too, which was super cool.
that's dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Super dope.
it's cool to see some kids from your area like grow up and like fucking kill it at something. You
Yeah,
know, it's
100%.
fucking dope. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
very
I
cool.
uh I ended up over at Mr. CBD at the Honeycomb Hideout yesterday
Oh,
for
nice.
420. It was super
How
cool.
was
There's
that?
like 50, 60 people there. It was
Oh,
awesome.
shit.
Run by like
Let's go,
High
friend.
Focus Media. So
Okay, hell yeah.
Maddie,
Hell yes.
Charlie was there, a little bean.
Yes.
There was some like there's this dude called One Mil the Rapper was there. Some other people. Like it was dope. It was a vibe. There was like a
That's cool.
420 shots of CBD. That was nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then they had like a write up in the Trib about 420 things going on, and they listed the Honeycomb Hideout. So I thought that was
How
cool.
is how was, the space for having that many people around?
Um, it was all right. It
Yeah?
was all right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was still room to move.
Yeah,
It
good.
wasn't like packed, but like, there's plenty of seating and stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's what like I said, that place was cool as hell to begin with, but the fact that it can support that kinda crowd and that kinda
Well, yeah,
hangout.
because you got like the back room with the couches and
Yeah,
stuff. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And then there's a hallway, and then there's the
yeah.
big room, and then Mark's got his like area where he has the
Kitchen. Yeah,
kitchen and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's super cool.
Super dope.
Yeah, I was really excited to get there, and Charlie was there serving up dabs and stuff, and I
Nice.
was happy to get there and just hang out with the homies and not do anything too crazy because I feel like the too many 420 parties are a young person's game.
Yeah. Yeah, I respect that.
I don't think that's my game anymore. You know what I mean? I got too much gray in the beard, you know?
Yeah.
My shit's turning gray quick. Like look back 5 years ago, I didn't have this much gray. Now it's a little nuts.
Yeah.
But
No,
whatever.
yeah, I just don't know that I can, like, roll blunts, like, an ounce of blunts and just try my hardest to smoke through them anymore like we
No.
used to or something like that, but, yeah, besides that, I hope everybody had a great time. I know that, like I said, mine was not as cannabis centered as it always has been, but to
Hmm.
be able to share it on the disc golf course and then to be able to go to the family thing and then, like, it
Yeah.
was kind of perfect. That's
Yeah.
the way I would rather spend that thing than
Well,
But I've been in the
you
cannabis industry for the last few years.
yeah, and so you would have had to work.
Oh, and it's such a fast-paced,
Mhm.
depending on where you're at and what you've been doing to begin with, right? Like how busy your store is, you might be used to that level of traffic, just kind of having excess traffic. But like for a smaller place, it's like whatever. Oh, it can be a long, busy day, and then the people get frustrated because like you just don't, you're not ready for it.
Mhm.
So, and last year, the main computer system that we all use, Dutchy, went
Mhm.
down, and nationwide, one of their servers went down. So
Nope.
there
Yep,
you go.
I know. Yeah,
That
it
was
was
a lot of fun.
that was good times, right? It's not like Dutchy couldn't have, use like AWS or something, but whatever.
Lit-
Expand their system a little bit, but you
Literally,
know how that
yeah.
goes. All
But
right.
yeah,
Hell yeah. You want to I guess we should do some quick plugs and
yeah.
then we can get into some cool news cuz we got tons of cool stuff to talk about today. I think. I think we got some out of state stuff to talk about, but I think it all kind of starts to relate in the long run, in the big picture. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
as always, you can find us, the Elevated News Podcast with Two Dope Dudes, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming and podcast apps. Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel. Please give us a like, leave a review, leave a comment. We always talk about it on the podcast when we can. And then you can find us at supportdopepeople.com, along with links to all the other stuff that we do. Eventually, we'll do some more, some new T-shirts, and we got to do some like elevated podcast merch, I think, or elevated news podcast merch.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, yeah. Leave a comment if you'd buy a elevated news podcast shirt.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. David.
Thursday night, what are you doing? If you'd like to hang out with me live on YouTube, go to Peace, Love, and Cope, and just come chat, hang out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good people. If you would like to ask any questions about cannabis growing, consumption, but anything, laws, whatever, this is the time to do it. But I would
Mm-hmm.
like to help you take your health back in your own hands
Heck yeah.
with cannabis.
Hey, what do we got? Let me see here. We got some YouTube comments from the last one. Growing Goat, holy snap, I'm so ready for this. My two newest favorite people, so down to earth and humble.
I love the goat.
Yep.
That dude is cool.
He messaged me yesterday during 420, and I got to get back to him today.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a super good dude.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about some growing stuff. Like button smash by
Oh,
Cole.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't responded. Dude, that literally just
I
reminded me.
know.
There's probably messages sitting in there.
I
I don't even
responded.
go on the damn things,
I
dude.
know. 4 p.m. next Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Like button
Okay, man.
smashed. I was going to respond to him today.
Okay.
Like button smash from Cole.
Thank
Yes, on the conversation about CBD, 20 to 1 is okay, but I find I need more sometimes. Happy 420, guys. From my mom.
Yes. I like that.
Chi-Town Hi-Fi, who's sending me some garden seeds I'm looking forward to. Another great episode, guys. Hope everybody has a fantastic 420.
Thanks, Chi-Town.
And then from Skibbity Bebop, I don't know, bro. Been saying it for years. THC is the least important cannabinoid. The way commercial canna is breeding with STS and farming for THC percentage is ruining the plant for most people. I've been breeding CBN for years. It seems like the people in the hemp industry care more about the medicine in the plant. Triploid CBN plants for the win.
All right.
Yeah.
Skibbity bebop.
Skibbity do. Have a little
Yeah.
one or have a little two.
That is awesome.
That's one of Dave's AI songs.
It's amazing.
Half AI songs from Thursday nights. And then Josh's Grow Room. Illinois Rec Cannabis is mids at best, and that's me being nice. I've tried every rec brand, all shit. Go to Michigan or grow your own. Yeah, that's I I would say that is the common consensus amongst most people
Not
around like Reddit and online is go to Michigan or grow your own. Although
Yeah,
I do
but
feel like,
Michigan has a bunch of boof too. Don't
yeah,
like
everybody
we
has
can't.
boof.
The thing is, I will not hate because I promise you, there was one point in my life where I'll go on record saying it. Illinois had the potential to have the best weed in the
Hmm.
world, and it might have for a while, but it's gotten worse because they've just bred a lot of the passion out of it. But there are still some bangers. There are some
Hmm.
people doing some really cool shit in the state. It's expensive though, but
Yep.
that's the same thing. If you go to Michigan, it is equally as expensive. The same $60 eighth is the same $60 eighth. The chances of getting a banger in Michigan compared to getting shit in Illinois is way more real because somebody in
Hmm.
Michigan can't justify charging you $60 for boof.
Right.
Here, they can because nobody knows what's what. It's all hidden behind, and the person who's growing it doesn't know anything. They're not cannabis people, so they don't like know if their stuff is quality or not. They just know what the market is. So then they just price in the market and then, so now we have a lot of $60 things that like half of them at best probably don't belong in that category or that tier. So anyway, that's my rant at it. But there's good stuff everywhere. That's my only thing. And I respect your sentiment. There is a lot of boof. It's just overpriced boof. Anyway,
Yep.
that's it.
And then all the friends in the live chat, Cole Memo, John Voight, Seymour Cannabis, Tree Nug. I know the Growing Goat was in here. Chi-Town
Bro.
Hi-Fi, Elkanah. There's Growing Goat.
Bro.
Uh, yeah, always
Hell yeah.
good
Thanks,
times to
friends. I
hang
wish
out.
I was celebrating a birthday with a friend, so I did not make the live.
Hey, look, we're in Illinois News Joint. Wake up.
Hey!
It's pretty cool. So yeah, Jason did a little write up on us in the elevated or in the Illinois News Joint website, and
Jason, what a
it's awesome.
I hell yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
he asked
I
us
actually
some.
read it.
Yeah,
I love it. I If you have not gone and read it, it was a super cool take on what we talked about and what we said and how we responded to some questions. And I respect Jason a lot. Thanks
yep.
for, yeah.
Shut up. He asked us who our first guest was, and I was super happy to talk about Mr. CBD, Mark Kinnicky.
I mean,
He has been a supporter of us and gave us a promo code in the very beginning because I think he has some products that we really believe in. The hemp seed oil, the superfoods. I think it's really cool, really great. The nano infused liquids are awesome too. So shout out Mr. CBD and shout out Illinois News Joint, our favorite news source that we use for Illinois medical cannabis news.
yeah.
Yeah, super awesome. Hey, so we got some, I was teasing earlier, we got some out of state news. Kentucky auditor announces investigation of the state's medical cannabis program. So
Oh.
they are investigating they have complaints about the lottery system used to award highly sought after licenses to grow, process, and sell the medicinal products to eligible patients. She said they're going to examine the application process and how the business licenses were awarded as part of its review of the offices of medical cannabis in
Uh-oh.
Governor Andy Bashir's administration.
Dude, this is the same thing that goes on every time. They're just taking another and I don't know how I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad. I don't want any I hate this lottery system that they run for
Right.
licensing. Why not just allow the most qualified to do it? And like, well, what's the most qualified though? It
Who has
becomes
the most
another thing.
money?
And that's if the state is going to do it, they're going to do it by who has the most money. And
Hmm.
all of us know that. And that's why people fight it. And that's why they're doing whatever, because the people with the most money definitely won most of these phone licenses. So, yeah, I don't know. And then they'll probably try to do some social equity, inclusion, second round. We're going to give everybody who's been affected by the war on cannabis a shot. Now, the first round, we have to give it to these people because they're the most
Hmm.
qualified. They're
Right.
qualified. Well, they have a lot of money, so they can build
Sure.
the infrastructure.
Sure.
Where, in all seriousness, probably some of the people who put up the money don't have or put in the licenses,
Hmm.
applications, might not have the money to build. Because I
Right.
watched a lot of people at least in Illinois, put in for applications, get licenses, and then hurry up and scurry around and go, look, we got this license. Now we need funding,
Right.
which is like, fine. All right. I'm not, whatever. But it's also, it shows where, just look at Illinois' market. Look at how many licenses exist that aren't operating, because a lack of funding.
I was talking to
Yeah.
somebody yesterday who is, I'll tell you, I know everybody will love this, but I'll tell you after the show who it is specifically. But I was talking to somebody the other day who said they went to the salt shed in Chicago for something, and that they were and they're connected to the regulated cannabis industry and events.
Mhm,
And they were very surprised, not to see GTI in there, but to see Hidden Hills in there
mhm,
as well. And they're
mhm,
like, oh, they're like, it's straight up inhalables. And I was like,
mhm,
yeah, yeah. Why
mhm.
wouldn't it be?
And that's what, like, when you and I started talking 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, "Hey,
Right.
hey, you what is
Right.
now's the time. What do you don't miss out.
Right.
Hit while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah.
Before you get burned, because you can't get burned right now,
Right.
right? Like,
It's
you're
it's
protected.
it's
You've been
impossible, but it's
protected.
coming. And
You've been
watch.
well, and that's it. You've been protected for a long time, and you might even still have time. If you're seeing bigger players like this jump into the space now,
Yeah.
well, they're going to
Ooh,
also be the same people who throw the lobbyist up to go, hey, we're going to do this. What I imagine it does is it makes the licensing process to get your hemp licenses substantially tougher. And I bet that they try to raise the cost, right? Because then that puts another barrier
mhm.
to entry. And then only because the cannabis people are going to go in and lobby and say, hey, listen, if I
Yeah.
got to pay 10,000,
Well,
20,000, 50,000 to hold my licenses a year to run
it's
my businesses.
it I want to say this in the right way. Um, my personal take is that it's hilarious that cannabis people have been so anti the man historically, have
Yeah.
had to be because of the restrictions placed on cannabis users and its growers, and the whole culture, the whole plan, by the government, has now turned into, look how much money I make for you, daddy state.
Well, yeah, well,
You know what
but
I'm saying? Like, so now watching these companies go,
it's
well,
because they've allowed monopoly.
these unregulated hemp money, this unregulated hemp companies aren't making, they're not paying the taxes like we're paying the taxes, daddy
Yeah, but well,
state.
they don't even give a shit. They just joined. They said, "Fuck it. Well, we can't beat them.
Well, no, they're
We
doing it
can't beat them
too,
because
but
we're at a state level trying to fight a federal statute.
I mean,
We
if
can't
you
beat them."
if you look at like the if the overall cannabis lobbying companies like Ace Illinois or whatever, and just all they can talk about is how much money that they pay for taxes, for their, and all these other places are just ruining their companies with unregulated access to cannabis, and it's just so hilarious that you know,
Yeah, but
it's just
here's the
turned into,
thing.
you're a sucker of the state, man. Like you're just like, oh, like you're reminding the teacher that they didn't assign
The
any homework.
The people who are crying about it are simply whistleblowers,
Hmm.
while the people who are business runners, profiteers, fucking
Hmm.
capitalists, they are literally working both sides of it. They
Yeah.
said, "You know what? That's all you got
Yep.
is to cry about it, to bitch about taxes. Fine, I'll do the tax thing. I'll do the untaxed thing. I am just running anything that has to do with this plant.
Yep.
I'm good at it now, and I'll manipulate." And they said, like, you're protected. The
Yep.
regulations against are like clearly laid out.
Hmm.
Um, the only thing is, like, I feel it's different for somebody like that who has a backing and a starting because
Sure.
they have lawyers and they have uh financial backing for if something were to go tits up, because
Yeah.
we don't know any day we could the fissure could crack, and then I mean, it would be at a federal level, right? But the fissure could crack, and then they could come start trying to sweep these laws across, but
I mean, you're
that's
not
a
wrong.
drastic
I
one.
mean, that's because we have a lived experience of 2013.
Yeah.
We have a lived experience of 2013 in Illinois when it became suddenly just medically legal to have, you know, for cannabis, and it was crazy. So
Yeah,
you're
well,
right, it can.
the thing is, like, the only protections against, like, some federal interjection is, like, in a bunch of mushed in omnibus things that are like, "Yeah, we won't spend any federal whatever." It
Yeah.
literally takes a stroke of one pen for all of that to change and for something to, whatever, but, there's a lot that's built I don't know, I don't see why you wouldn't go for something like this, unless this is my whole point to what I've been saying is you're terribly scared that the moment that fissure cracked, you would be in possession of way more than you thought you could handle or do something with, or you were
Sure.
willing to take the heat for the rap, because dude, this isn't like some I mean, yeah, there's people doing cool shit. And like you said, the salt shed, how much do you think they're capable of running through in a night, right? My guesstimation is
Couple thou.
well, dude, hundreds of grams at least would be my guesstimation, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of grams. It would
Yeah.
be easy for them. And if it was put into easier consumables, something like a joint or something of that nature where people could just kind of blow through it, my guesstimation is
They've got them in vapes there with the Hidden Hills.
well, you could do thousands, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you could do thousands of grams of something a night
I know the
by
Hidden Hills
being
people, like, I know those vape, I mean, those vape carts are running 30, 40, $50 easy.
and so being
So,
all I'm saying is, if you can't beat them, join them. What are we
mhm.
doing?
So continuing on this Kentucky one,
Yep.
sometimes we get high and we continue to talk about overall overall things. But
Yeah.
so this is about the lottery one. They received thousands of applications for licenses, and Bashir said the state-run lotteries last year were a fair way to give applicants a chance to land the limited number of licenses awarded. Said that they underwent legislative reviews and that the process to award the licenses were transparent, including the live streaming of the lotteries. The individuals who have come forward to express concerns went through the full process and did not complain until after not being selected in the lottery, Bashir spokeswoman Crystal Staley said. Louisville public media found out that out-of-state residents dominated the lotteries for licenses, tracing it to a flood of applications from deep-pocketed companies.
That's yep.
Yep.
I we all I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just so duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like we just said, that's the whole why we went off into the rant to begin with, is these people are just deeper pocketed.
Yep.
People who have tried to win licenses, you just don't have the funding, you don't have the groundwork. You can't prove the same way that these other people can prove that they are capable of operating what would be needed to sustain a market like that. And like, I'm not saying that you couldn't do it as a
So
everybody has
this
yeah,
is the same thing that happened with rec here, is that
100%.
there was a lawsuit, and so they're going to have a lawsuit, and that
Mhm.
yep, yep, probably will get delayed, and that's just
And
unfortunate.
if the governor's spokesperson's coming out and saying, "This is what the governor is saying," and that's in quotation marks,
Yeah.
um, I don't see them backing down from the fact that they gave it to the most capable of running the businesses. And like, it sucks. It's, as the person who doesn't have the same backing or hasn't had a shot yet to do the thing because everybody else wins licenses everywhere else. Finally, your home state comes in, you got the chance of doing it. Let's run the application. And then you get beat out by somebody else, but the somebody else can prove it. You can't. And that's what I'm saying. Just give everybody some access, better access.
Better access. That's all we ever want.
Yep. It's all we've ever talked about. More access, more people.
Let me do this. This might white out my face a little bit, but it's okay.
Ooh.
It'll fix it so I can read it. So, Michigan recalls 1,100 marijuana joints believed to be infused with untested additives. This is from Michigan Live. Out of Lansing, nearly 1,100 prepackaged marijuana joints already sold or in inventory at 20 dispensaries across Michigan were recalled over public health concerns Wednesday, May 15th. The Cannabis Regulatory Agency accused a manufacturer, Flavor Galaxy, which operates a processing facility in Hazel Park, of adding ingredients to the joints after they underwent safety testing in violation of state rules and of failing to properly enter tracking data in the statewide monitoring system known as Metrc. This person from Flavor Galaxy alleges that the manufacturer added ingredients after initial safety testing didn't happen and is an assumption by the CRA based on a former Flavor Galaxy employee who manipulated data in the statewide marijuana tracking system. The CRA recall bulletin said investigators discovered that Flavor Galaxy did not submit certain infused pre-rolls for testing in their final form and only tested the raw marijuana flower contained in the product. Manufacturers infuse. That's a good one. That's on the level of some of the ones that you make up.
Oh, dude, yeah. What was? Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a couple. Like somebody messaged me one time and was like, "Did Dave just say like?" Yeah, it's the one you always say. And I was like, oh, yeah, he says that all the time. And he's like, I'm going to use that all the time. That's good. The new one I'm using is that joint is running like who is it? Would you say?
Like Usain Bolt stole his
Usain Bolt. Yeah, like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
That joint's running like Usain Bolt. Let's see. Manufacturers infuse marijuana flower by adding distillate, which is concentrated high-potency THC oil and terpenes, naturally occurring compounds that enhance taste and smell. According to testing rules, if a manufacturer adds terpenes or distillate, the product must be retested in its final form before being sold to customers. So there's a bunch of... I'm not trying to pick on them. I don't even know who they are. I just know that there is... there's a bunch of...
Distillate got added?
Yeah. There's just a bunch of recalls in Michigan and a bunch of stuff going on with Metrc is kind of what I'm highlighting here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't. The reason you would do something like this as a company and try to hide it might be to make your stuff more potent and to keep it at a lower cost, but to also avoid it getting weighed as much in the state system so you're not getting whacked as hard. So I don't know how that looks or what people are trying to do to skirt those things. And everybody would go, well, why the hell would you do that? Because then, like, well, it maybe not. Because I don't know how it would look on the sales side of things. Let's say an average joint out there costs them $3, but the infused one's 6, right? I don't know if you like fake that it's uninfused to the state somehow, and then you like bring it back and then you infuse it and then try and sell it to the people. Like, I don't know. I just don't think that the maths where it would make sense for a company to want to add more product to something at the end.
Sure. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what back in the day, everybody was how many times have you heard I got laced weed? Right? Like a lot of people back in my well,
Yeah.
I guess in the dispensary, a lot of people were like, "No, that's why I don't smoke cuz back in the day I got laced weed." I'm like, "No, you didn't. You had a bad experience with the weed that you had. It was a little
Yep.
too racy for you. It was a little too it is an intoxicant, y'all. Like it's not like, nothing." But um yeah, why would somebody want to put more something on the weed? And they're like, to get you addicted. I'm like, bro, to be a crackhead? Like,
To
no.
what?
Yeah, to what are they? And that's the other everybody like the
To only
fentanyl
get
laced
weed from
weed.
one guy? Yeah,
We've
I
seen
never
it. We've seen it.
like
We've talked about it on this podcast, I
yeah.
believe, the fentanyl laced weed, right? Everybody, oh, the fentanyl, it's laced with fentanyl, the weed. I'm like, bro, what? Who does that? I can't imagine that fentanyl is fucking cheap. And if it is done, if somebody's doing it out there, I don't know that I don't know. I'm sure the stuff has happened. It shows out there. There's stories about it, right? There's stories about a lot of things in the world. What's true and not? Have we seen it? I just don't know why somebody would lace fucking weed.
Why would somebody put a razor blade in an apple and give it out to kids at Halloween? It's like the same thing. It's like the same story to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody's handing out weed gummies on Halloween. Like sure there's some drunk guy who thinks it's a good idea somewhere like in the world,
Yeah. But the
but like
problem is with
it's
the weed
not
is you
like
drink.
yeah, it's not like every community has some weird guy trying to give out gummies on like gummies are expensive. Fuck
That's what
you.
I'm saying. Who the hell could afford it?
I know.
And not even from Michigan. Nah. All right.
Nah.
Nah.
So this is something that's been going on out in Maryland quite a bunch. I've been starting to follow, and then I saw some of this. So I wanted to highlight this.
Whoa.
Trio of Metrc-related lawsuits could force systemic changes for track and trace enforcement tactics. I've been talking to you personally a little bit about Metrc stuff, and you don't actually have much. I don't think you have much experience with Metrc, right? You're only BioTrack. So some of this will be new to you, but a trio of active lawsuits spread across 3 U.S. states aimed to upend the cannabis track and trace system provided by Florida-based Metrc. The case alleges that flaws in the system have empowered bad actors, while undercutting licensed businesses, and industry insiders claim the regulators are well aware of the issues. One of the cases, first brought against California regulators in 2021, is scheduled to go to trial in October, according to court results. Let's see. First, I don't want to read all that. The first court case targeting Metrc was filed 4 years ago by a division of Catalyst Cannabis Company, a retail marijuana chain in Southern California. It is shedding light on the phenomenon of burner distros, which are legal cannabis distribution licenses obtained by criminals who then use them to purchase and ship legally produced marijuana products out of state to underground markets across the country. So, diversion. Catalyst allege in the case that the Department of Cannabis Control turned a blind eye to illegal diversion, which the company claimed had sending millions of pounds of cannabis out of state. So they're claiming that they're.
But how is Metric allowed to? Who allows border to border cannabis sales? Nobody, right? Nobody
Uh,
allows over border sales. I know that one time Nevada did like a thing where they opened their borders and allowed, I think, California, I forget, Washington, whoever the hell borders Nevada, they allowed them to drop off weed
yeah, I
one
remember that. That was when there was like a weed. When they first
shortage.
opened, yeah, there was a
Yeah,
shortage.
massive
God,
short bingo. But that was like a
do you
state.
remember the weed shortages?
Yeah,
Do you remember? I know,
yeah.
dude.
Do
Remember when we had weed shortages, man?
um, I worked at a dispensary
Yeah.
and saw the piles of shit still in the back, and everybody was like, "Whoa, it got tight." Yeah, it got fucking tight. Yeah, but like I don't know. And well, the only problem was at some point you were forced to buy some natures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just forced to buy some of that. Mm-mm. Anyway,
Okay. So what it says here, I'm just reading this here. Looks like it requires DCC, which is Department of Cannabis Control, among other things, establish a comprehensive system to control and regulate the cultivation, distribution, transport, storage, manufacturing, processing, and sale of cannabis and cannabis products. That derivative includes the express requirement that DCC create and implement a system known as the industry as track and trace to track cannabis from the plant and sale. And this document, bop, 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 bop. So they're saying that they were supposed to control cannabis in California, and that they've used Metrc, and Metrc is not a complete system.
dude, this shit's coming from Colorado,
Oh
Oregon.
yeah.
They're getting fucking smacked from every direction, and now I got Delaware over here. Holy shit!
So what they're saying. And then they get a burner distro. All right, well, let's look at the other ones.
There's like 4 different lawsuits in here, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Holy shite!
Yep. Yeah, that's just the first one.
Well, and yeah.
This case appears to have been given extra fuel by another recent lawsuit filed on the same topic, a whistleblower retaliation case. That case was filed in Oregon early this month by former Metrc Vice President Marcus Estes, who met with Catalyst CEO Elliot Lewis and others on Lewis' team in 2023. During that meeting, Lewis informed Estes of the previous lawsuit and allegations on how flaws within Metrc had allowed burner distros to exploit the system at the expense of legal marijuana companies such as his. The Estes lawsuit backs up many claims made by Catalyst in the case, and Lewis celebrated the news of the Estes lawsuit on a video. Lewis promised that his company would help continue fighting to fix both Metrc and the state regulatory system. Metrc doesn't work. Everybody knows it doesn't work. Estes goes on to quote to say that it's set up for burner distribution so illicit operators can engage in business in the legal market. That's it, point blank, end of story.
Hey, we're getting it in Illinois. Maybe we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's track and trace. It's a seed to sale.
Bro, we got to hit up somebody and find out how to build some burner distros and.
Don't say that edit. No. Edit.
Yeah,
no.
edit, cut.
Nah, cut this part.
Why,
cut this part. We don't want them to hear it.
Yeah, well, dude, if we know that this is a problem, why the fuck would you bring this to be the system?
Well, can I highlight that one right there? I think that is the answer to the question.
Oh, the first sentence I just read.
Either the people in the government are really stupid or they're really corrupt, and both are equally terrifying. Both are equally true.
Oh, man.
Both are equally true.
Why would you? Oh,
this is the third lawsuit filed in March in Colorado against the state cannabis regulators by Mammoth Farms, makes eerily similar claims from those from Catalyst, and asserts that the state marijuana enforcement division neglected its legal mandate to establish a workable track and trace program.
Well,
Mammoth complains that the Med ignored discrepancies at inventory levels. Like, imagine if you had 99 discrepancies. That'd be crazy. Allowing bad actors to freely ship illicit products in and out of the state. And then, yeah. So April 30th, there's a preliminary injunction. It would force the Med to establish a basic tracking and testing measures. This would transform Metrc from a system that records truths and lies about distinction to a system that uses reasonable proxies to track regulated marijuana. See, this is the problem with using third parties for this sort of tracking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might have been the first time I said that this whole episode. Good job, me.
Yeah. No, you know what? This is wild. I actually did not see this. I'm glad that you brought this up. I've always like I don't know what the benefit of having a burner distro is. Honestly, I'm trying to like actually conceptualize. I get it that you could
Um,
sell
they're
back but
I
you
think
can't
they're just.
sell across state lines
I mean, plenty of
unless
people.
what you're doing is selling into
I think
your
what they're
own
doing. No, I think
distribution, your
probably
own, you know what I mean?
or
Or
your friends.
you have like a pop-up
I mean, so what?
dispo or something? I don't know.
No, no. So what? No, what you're doing is you have a probably what they're doing is they're either saying things are destroyed or just go missing within the metric system. You know what I mean? Like if you have extra cultivation that you can't sell, you just get rid of it out of state. I mean, you and I have definitely seen a lot of California cannabis come out of California and end up here. You and I
Yeah,
both seen like
100%.
packs and rosins and all
But
sorts
I
of
know a
stuff.
lot of that is getting sent under hemp shit. It is does Metric run the hemp thing? Is that why they're
No, I don't
getting
think so.
because I don't know.
I think
Well,
California is just growing hemp and has been for a while.
like I said, I just don't understand how people are allowed to sell over state lines. And
Well,
maybe California has something in place where they are allowed to sell over state lines, but it would have to be with a level of reciprocity. So whoever was willing to accept them as doing it, you could, but then you would absolutely, without a doubt, the second the plane took off the air or off the ground, you would be in federal airspace. You would be breaking federal law. Every state that you stopped over that wasn't reciprocal to your transfer, if that plane had to refuel or there was a bad weather that flared up and you had to drop, the second it hit the ground, you'd be illegally in possession. Like there's just a lot of tracing yourself to bad activity. I don't know, unless people are allowed to. I just don't know the legalities of Cali that well, I guess.
yeah, well, so this is California, Colorado, and Oregon. I know there's some stuff going on in
Hmm.
Michigan too. There's another
There's one from
person.
Delaware at the bottom
Oh,
there, I think.
Delaware.
Too.
Did I
Yeah.
miss that one?
Yeah, in the Court
This
of
is
Chancery of the State of Delaware.
okay, Colorado.
Bottom one, right before what's next.
Oh, metric file suit. Okay.
Yeah.
Metric file suit. Metric had already filed a pair of lawsuits against a whistleblower in Florida and Delaware, alleging breach of contract and seeking financial damages. Didn't file for his whistleblower retaliation until April 4th, when Metric sued him on May 23rd last year and filed a parallel suit in Florida 8 days later. Said that Estes joined Metric as an executive vice president after the company bought his smaller tech firm, Chroma Signet, and violated a trio of it's all
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know,
We're gonna keep like reading. I didn't see how big
hold
this
on,
was.
hold on. The suit accuses us of altering online domain names related to the Retail ID project, rendering them useless for at least 10 days last year, which affected inventory tracking for at least 200,000 cannabis product units. So, like, hey, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through and on and I'll have the link on the website here. You
It's
can
like
go
it's
through and
disappearing.
see. It's 18 pages of law stuff that I haven't actually read yet, and
Legal jargon is fun to read too.
yeah, well, you should like I'll throw it through AI and be like, summarize this for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like summarize this. I probably should have done that, but full curtain pull the full curtain aside and let you know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to prepare because it was we kind of threw
No,
it together
no, no,
last
no.
second.
I
So
don't think you have to over prepare for this
no,
because I don't
I
really
was making
care
a
enough
joke
about
about
it.
it. I was
Yeah.
just saying I should have done that, but full curtain pull. I
No,
didn't
yeah. I
because we're not that organized.
no. Hey, listen, mate. Yeah,
We try real hard, but we're
yeah,
glad that you like watching us.
yeah,
Our little half train wreck sometimes. We appreciate you being here.
yeah. No, I mean, there's still good coming out of this. Is that metric is scary. I
Mm-hmm.
guess I don't know. But that's it too. Like we just said before. Like we come from a culture of people who have had to hide from all of these systems of tracing. Why
Mm-hmm.
does a government have to know all of the information that it does sometimes? And then when they're going to hold me accountable or liable at the risk of imprisonment,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to tell you everything, right? And so, like, people will do these things, but like, that's the whole thing, too. Like, some of these people are, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Some of these people are probably just, I don't know. I hate that, like, the cannabis culture and the cannabis community where it's like, bro, I won't say shit. You won't say shit. Let's all kind of be cool and just, we don't have to be flashy or showy about it. Now everybody that's involved in it's like lawsuit, bring it to the mainstream, j- shun the other ones, and then like now we have like it's nothing but conflict and pick
Yeah.
a side. Do you want to be cannabis or hemp?
Tribalism.
Do you want to be
Tribalism.
100%? It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tribalism.
It's yeah.
It's much easier to feel, not have to think, choose a side, uh decide that you are the smartest and everybody else is stupid and their opinion is wrong, and just, hate somebody else and not worry about anything else. It's really easy to do that, but uh I don't think cannabis users do that as a rule, because I think they're introspective, and I
Well,
think that's one of the lovely things about the plant.
I think it's more like genuinely, I believe the people that listen, the
Hmm.
people that keep commenting, like that the those are the real ones, right?
Yep.
It's literally the people who understand why we're even talking about what we're talking about and why they tune in to begin with,
Hmm.
because this thing is worth going, hey, there's some fucked up. Like, do y'all come on?
Yeah.
I mean, we're risk and reward has been so skewed in the wrong direction. And then also like who gets to be the owner operator distributors versus who gets to be the criminal
Hmm.
also has become so
Yeah.
drastically like pulled in one direction where it's like, how do these guys get to sell hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of this stuff? If you get caught with 2 ounces, now you're a criminal. You've overdone it.
Hmm.
But imprisonment
And
puts you in a
there's
cage
still,
because you're so stupid you don't know how much to hold on to. Get
yeah,
the fuck out of my face with that fucking garbage, you know?
yeah.
Like I just don't I don't know. How weird is that? How unintelligent is that response towards this plant? And I believe that is why all of us continue to fight for it and I think again, that's what I'm saying. That's why we got the listeners,
Yep.
the followers, everything. I
Yep.
think it's literally because everybody's on board going, there's something wrong here. Limiting the access to imprisonment,
Hmm.
all of it. That's kind of fucked up. And to continue to not allow, at minimum, a
Access.
medicinal access to without limits, a limitless medicinal access is what I would like to see for everybody. I don't care if you think that cannabis is going to fix whatever, and you thought that buying 5, 10, 100 pounds of whatever, and then, you want to just keep eating fucking thousands and thousands of milligrams. I don't understand why anybody else is telling you what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
At that point, you're doing it for your health.
Yeah. Take your health back into your own hands. Speaking of, Dave's Conditional Cannabis
Oh,
Corner.
You got some symptoms from your condition to help you feel better. That is my mission. At the Conditional Cannabis Corner, you can get that information, and it won't even cost you a quarter.
I still haven't done an intro for it, but eventually. Write me a little song. Write me a little songy.
Oh,
Write me like a 15-second jingle, 10-second jingle.
yeah. Yeah. All right. I got you. All right.
Cool.
I'm going to try and make that happen.
Write it on a post-it note right now. I'm going to make
right.
Dave do it. I'm going to make Dave do it.
Right.
10 to 15-second jingle.
All right. Here we go.
I promise. It'll be worth it, guys. It'll be worth it. Sometimes,
All right.
sometimes you gotta make him hold back from his. All right.
All right. Here we go. Listen here. We got what I decided that I would like to talk about today is the symptom of nausea in cancer patients. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because there's so many ways to make this happen. Nausea relief. It's a lot to do with method of ingestion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how you're feeling, depends on what you do. Cancer isn't just one thing, it's a lot of things, right? And a lot of cancer patients feel a lot of different stuff. So for one person to get relief from a gentle inhalation, just a single puff of something, is a very real possibility. For the next person, it may be the Pashadi method. We may need to use a an oil in the stomach, in the belly button, not in the stomach, in the belly button. That is one of my favorite and personal ways that I use cannabis when I feel nauseous for anything. It sucks. I know there's a bottle of it over there. I keep a bottle of it all the time. PTS's body oil has been my go-to for years. It has a bunch of very good carrying oils as well, but just a drop or two inside the belly button. We're not looking to flood it. It's not a pool. It's not whatever. You can kind of rub it inside. But the relief for nausea that I get is very, very real. And I have passed that on to a lot of cancer patients who sometimes just don't feel like smoking, also, right? Inhalation is a beautiful method of ingestion. It's one of the most breakthrough methods. But surprisingly, the Pashadi method is actually relatively quick as well. I believe that the onset tends to be 5 to 15 minutes. I mean, it's a pretty quick kind of onset of comfort, but there's so many different ways that depending on what you're going through individually, it's method of ingestion. Very low dose inhalation, even of a vape pen. Something if you prefer combustion of flower, if you prefer vaping, whatever it is. But then the other way that I recommend to a lot of people is Pashadi. It is a oil that you put inside your belly button. It's super effective for a ton of things, but the one that I've had the greatest relief from is nausea. But really good, wildly enough. I read something that it's very good for ocular pressure. So for glaucoma patients as well, you would use a Pashadi method to help reduce ocular pressure. Behind our belly button is, I mean, it's our life source when we are being birthed. So there are a ton of nerve endings behind your belly button, and it kind of helps just stimulate the system. But that's my 2 cents at it. Try the Pashadi method, try low dose inhalation for nausea. And yeah. Oh, I mean, there's tinctures. You could do a little tincture in the mouth. Wildly enough, for a lot of patients who just can't seem to get the relief from anything else, suppositories. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's my take on it. Um, hopefully you don't, you know, suffer any of the symptoms of any conditions. And if you do, if you're feeling like you've got a consistent symptom of a condition, even if it's just pain, I genuinely put it in the comment section
Yeah.
somewhere like, hey, I deal with this symptom for this condition. Help me deal with it. And that's literally what I want to do with cannabis more than anything. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. Trying some new stuff. I'll get it down. I didn't want to mess with it too much while you were in the middle of it, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
love it.
you're all
I
right.
dig it. Trying new stuff, baby. 2 years in, let's try some new things.
Bro, touch buttons.
Touch buttons.
I'm not going to over here because I will mess something up. But yeah,
I mean, I think you've got access to the buttons, right?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
No.
I can fix that later. No big deal. But yeah, a lot of the big podcasts, they have a producer. We don't have a producer. We just do stuff. Was it who's it?
No.
Josh said before we started recording, or who's it? Z said, he's like, "Oh, I love you guys. You guys aren't worried about like, trying to make money off this podcast or anything. You're not trying to monetize or nothing." I'm like, "Nah, not really. Not really. We got a few things, we got some community codes here, but we're just trying to bring the news to the masses, and that's what's important." And we
No,
love
hey,
all of you. Yeah.
I genuinely, and I go read the article from Illinois News Joint. He states it precisely, and we talk about it a lot. I've said for a long time, my mission with this is to help as many people take their health back into their own hands, to get away from using copious amounts of medication and literally finding that same relief within one. I'm not saying that there aren't medications that are completely worthwhile, and there are plenty that are, but if you are not using cannabis for symptom relief, you may be missing something. And if you think it's just because you got to get high all day or stoned or do big bong rips or do dabs or do it, that is not it, right? There are so many different methods of ingestion. I just hope that the amount of people who came to me and said, I feel like a zombie and now I don't feel like a zombie. I literally was in conversation with a lady in the past, as a true story too, was in conversation with the lady in the past who nodded out in the middle of our conversation from fentanyl. She was wearing a patch. Yeah. Oh, bro, if I never told you a story, it tripped me out. I think you're like, and I might be wrong. Somebody out there can fact check me.
Didn't she have a bunch of patches on?
I think it's like 100 UG or something like that of what one patch can be. And then I think they have like a breakthrough thing or like an additive that you can add like an extra 25 on or something, or maybe it's whatever it is. So that's like the highest dose that you're supposed to take, period. I think for anybody, it doesn't matter. That's what my assumption was in the past when I heard about it. When I talked to this lady, she had 3 100s and 3 25s. And I was like, holy shit. And she was like, I'm in so much pain. And I was like, holy fuck, like, you can't even talk.
You're gonna die.
Yeah. No, and then she nodded out, and I literally like lunged across because we used to have them counters.
Yeah.
And she lunged across. Like, I was like, I'm gonna have to catch this human.
In the front or in the back?
In the back.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was
at the window.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, you're talking about
different spot.
The first one.
Yeah, I was talking about the first one.
Yeah. There was like that little L shape, So I was like in the back corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And dude, wild little.
That's like why desks, like office desks. That was weird. I've never.
That one was. That was a different situation. Yeah, that's number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the office desks was wild.
Office desks was like, come into the dispensary and sit down at this office desk.
It works.
And here is a menu. Okay, I understand that too.
It worked for the people who wanted either a psychologist
consultation.
Boy, yeah. I mean, dude, like there are some people who were asking the wrong people sometimes way too many technical questions and getting probably very bad information.
Yeah,
Um,
that
but then
seems like a
like,
bad idea.
yeah, and like
It seems like a good idea in theory, but a bad idea in practice.
I'm not a doctor by any means, but I did at least suffer through. I say suffer through. I took anatomy and physiology courses and medical
Same,
terminology things, and like I started my collegiate endeavors in the sciences of
same.
anatomy and physiology.
I
I
did a
I
lot of the
cared
same
about
when I was a body piercer and body mod artist. We did a lot of anatomy,
yeah.
physiology, medical
Oh,
terminology, first aids, you know, like really into the med side.
yeah. And there is a basic understanding of what's going on that like I think maybe some people who are trying to have conversation on this should at least understand. You know, like, and there were some people who were just trying to figure out what terpenes were, you know? And like as the representative. But anyway, yeah, one-on-one consultation was a wild time and it was great for some and it was like, you know, how can I
Yeah,
get out of this process for others, right? But it was
right.
also too just a bad system of layout for that facility. They fucked that up. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
hell yeah. Another episode
Oh,
88 in the books, coming up here 2 years, pretty quick. Gonna be super awesome.
well.
Yeah. And we love you all. Smoke weed every day. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.